What's up, everybody? Got another great episode for you guys today. This is Six Man Blitz. We're here. We're going to talk about some NBA talk. We're going to preview the draft. We're going to talk about some picks. We're going to break it all down for you guys today. Got our NBA analyst back again with us. But one huge thing I saw today, Kyrie was on Twitter. He said, the 2021 Nets, they would have won it all had he not gotten hurt against, the Bucks in that series. What are your thoughts on that? Because it doesn't fucking matter because they still lost.
Yeah, it don't matter.
And it was in 2021.
That ain't gonna change history.
Right.
Next subject. Where you playing next year, Kyrie?
You ain't gonna say that. That's the
Right.
real news we want to know. But we're gonna be talking about everything in this episode. We're gonna talk about the playoffs that has been happening. Jimmy Butler giving the Bucks 56 last night and going up 3-1. Giannis, he didn't even go to media availability because he was getting, treatment for his back. Pause. But he was getting treatment for his back. So, we're going to cover all that stuff. You ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
Now, let's get right into it. The NBA talk, man. We got our analyst in here in the studio with us right now. The boy, Ryan. How we doing today?
Having me, man. Always doing well when I get to see you two, brother. So, thanks for having me.
Sir. But I know y'all watched the game last night. Jimmy Butler, 56 points, went ballistic. Shit was crazy. So what were our thoughts on that game?
Man, everybody's saying it's one of the best playoff performances they ever seen, and I promise you, I can't disagree with that.
I can't either.
If you watch the first quarter, I was watching it, but at the end of the day, I wasn't totally locked in. I'm scrolling on Twitter, doing all this other stuff. I just hear the announcer say, Jimmy Butler has 20 of the Miami Heat's 26 points. And I froze. And I'm like, what? He's doing that?
22 points in the first quarter. Crazy.
What? He's doing that? And then, fast forward to the fourth quarter where I actually was locked in because I was interested to see, what was going to happen. And, man, he made play after play after play. And they got stop after stop after stop. And Budenholzer never called timeout. And I know he's regretting that this morning for sure.
No
and it's not like Giannis played bad either. He had a triple-double, 26 points off that bad back issues he was having. He was out for 8 days and shit.
What's crazy is they were up 12 halfway through the fourth, and Miami went on that run. And what's even more impressive is with the 56 points was the effort defensively. I mean, this man is a monster on both ends of the court. And it's starting to make me think more about that fan theory out there that he Michael Jordan long lost son and shit. So
it only makes
it's
sense.
starting to check out. It's starting to add up. I ain't gonna lie to
Playoff Jimmy thing for sure. My thing is not only the offensive end, the defensive end. He's knocking down free throws at an all-time high clip as well. He went to the free throw line 15, 16 times yesterday. So if you're gonna knock down free throws like he was knocking them down, sky's the limit for that, brothers. He played his butt off yesterday.
Yeah, and now the Heat are up 3-1, but people are saying this is the easiest 3-1 deficit to come back from and shit. So do we think the Bucks got a shot to come back and win this series?
They don't have a choice. You can't be the number one seed and the best team in the NBA all season and then lose to an 8 seed. And I don't want to hear that Giannis didn't play as an excuse because he played yesterday and they lost. They
won a game without him too.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a must win.
There are no excuses at all. I can't really see the Bucks losing this series, even though they're down 3-1. I still think that they're going to win the series. But if they lose, it's going to be a lot of questions being asked, and it's probably going to be potentially a coaching change or something like that because you can't lose to an 8 seed in the first round.
And a team that was barely made the play, they were fighting around in the play and lost to Atlanta.
Barely
got in because of Chicago, thankfully.
Didn't have a really,
especially without Tyler Hero either. There's really no excuse defensively. On the flip side of it, you can't let a man get 56. What's a double team in that option?
Double team. Shadow, help do something. Miami, they've been playing really, really well in the playoffs, but this year they haven't been known as a scoring or 3-point shooting team like that. In my opinion, they should have brought some type of help to make somebody else beat you because Jimmy has proven that he can beat you. I mean, he's proven it year after year after year. Jimmy Butler can beat you in the playoffs by himself. So I think they'll make an adjustment in the next game. They have to.
Yeah, no choice. I mean,
I think it is that easy to just making a quick adjustment defensively, and they probably, run away with this thing if all things add up. The problem is when you're going down 3-1, you got to have 3 perfect games. So that's the difference.
Miami,
you can't have one more slip
Game
up.
6 is going to be in Miami too. Jimmy Butler could go ballistic again.
Somebody can't get hurt.
Yeah.
The wrong person can't choke. It's everything has to fall in line in order to get back and win the series. Which in their side, a quick adjustment might be the only thing they need to easily blow their ass out.
I think that with the Bucks, if let's say it did go 7, the Bucks will have 2 out of the next 3 games at home. I don't even see the next game being a competitive game. Like I just see the Heat getting blown out thinking about Game 6. And in Game 6, anything can happen. I honestly think the Bucks.
Right.
In Miami. I don't see the Bucks losing the series even down 3-1. I can't see it. Too good.
Miami's in a good position too, though. They got nothing to lose. Like literally, they're up 3-1. Even if they let the shit go, they're good. So Jimmy, I like Miami. This might be a hot take. I like Miami to end this shit in Game 6.
I would love to see it, honestly. I would love to see Miami go ahead and knock it out. It just would add more to Jimmy Butler's legacy, and it just hurt Bulls fans a little bit more at the end of the day because we let them go.
Man, that should stay.
Let them go.
Yeah, and then it would come down to, I mean, like I dropped a video about this. It should be, posted soon. But about the Knicks, ending shit with the Cavs and then moving on to the next round where they play the Heat. They can fuck around and make the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks, like that, New York would be going fucking crazy if that happened.
I'll tell you this. The Knicks will be a nightmare matchup for Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. They match up perfectly with Boston. It will be a nightmare for Celtics fans. I'm not gonna lie. It will. Tibbs ain't going. We all know how he get down. He'll play 6 guys 43 minutes if he can. So
yeah, you don't give a fuck.
If that's defense that's gonna be a football game. Defensively, you look at both those way those teams are scrappy. Even looking at some of these scores, like the Knicks won Game 3, 99-79. Like, come on now.
Donovan Mitchell was held to 2 points in the second half, which was fucking crazy.
They're probably averaging 100 points a game this series. So and the Cavaliers haven't scored over 100 yet. So I mean, except once. So that goes to show what type of time they on. And Tibbs, that's his DNA. If anything,
that's the difference between Tibbs.
You add Jalen Brunson, who's a bona fide bucket getter, and he clutch, and then Julius Randle as your second option. I mean, which I think is the best fit for him. I don't think he's the best player on the championship team. Whereas Jalen Brunson or them are kind of close in talent, but Jalen has got that dog in him where he can end the game. He's
finishing a lot of games too. He's that guy when it comes down to the fourth quarter.
That's the difference, man. But Tibbs and a lot of other people, man, is Tibbs is not going to let someone go get 50 on him. Like he rather let the bench score 5 guys off the bench score 12, 10, 11, 14. He'd rather be like that than one player to go out and dominate the game that way. Tibbs has always been known for that. He's not going to allow anybody to go get 50 on him. That's his nature. He's not going for it.
Yeah, he definitely ain't gonna let Tatum and them. But it's with the series though, like Philly, Boston. I feel like now how it's looking right now, I feel like that series, whoever wins that is winning the East.
I mean, I
agree. Definitely. I think Milwaukee. You're looking at the championship window. It felt like this year is it came to a screeching halt, and there's been people say they're old and kind of out of their prime-ish. Just in terms of just how they play the game. But I mean, if they make this happen, what is next year look like?
Different. It has
Middleton, yes.
Middleton, because we've
Middleton.
We've seen Middleton go from arguably the best player on the team to we seen him drop to clear cut number 2 to now clear cut 3 or maybe even 4 at sometimes. Like
Bobby P better than him.
That's what I'm saying. So like Middleton will probably be the first that we see go. I don't see Drew Holiday going anywhere. He's such a good fit on that team, the culture, the grit he has and all that. I think it fits really well with what Milwaukee's trying to accomplish and do. But Middleton seems like that he will be the first man out, definitely, on that roster.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that championship run, albeit, obviously Giannis was the best player in the world during that time. He had some clutch buckets down the stretch where they needed a bucket, he got him one. So I think that's the missing piece for them this year, and it's kind of showing. But Middleton had a few games where he played well this year, so this series, I ain't gonna do that to him.
And Middleton was your guy
too. 14. Come on, man.
During that run,
I used to be a Buck fan.
He battled so much adversity and injury this year. It's hard to like really judge him just because he never got a chance to catch like a really good rhythm. But at the end of the day, when you step in between the 4 lines, there are no excuses. Like you just got to perform. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Now let's talk about somebody that did perform and come through. LeBron. Last night he didn't shoot that well from the field, but when it mattered, overtime and that big bucket, he almost fourth quarter buzzer beater almost hit that shit after AD blocked Josh shit. But as you know, the Lakers fan you are, how happy are you about last night's win?
Last night was incredible to watch because I know for a fact that if we had the same team from before the trade deadline and we were in that same game yesterday, we would have lost that game by 15 plus points. I understand that LeBron did not shoot the ball well yesterday, but he was still the best player on the court for a couple of different reasons. He 20 rebounds, right? 20 rebounds. It hasn't been done in a Lakers uniform since 2004 with Shaquille O'Neal. Like that says a lot. LeBron's not even the center. That means Anthony Davis hasn't done that, and that's literally what he's supposed to be doing, 20 and 20, especially versus a team like Memphis. Defensively, LeBron played one of the best defensive games of the season yesterday. Like he sat in the chair all night. He was help side. He had like 2 incredible blocks, almost had a third when they called it a goaltend. And then just running the pace, running the offense. Like he did a great job getting his guys involved. 7 assists, probably could have had a few more if guys were making shots. And then he also gives confidence to his teammates, guys like Austin Reeves, D'Lo. He lets those guys, play freely basically and do what they want on the court. We know LeBron can be ball dominant at times. He let them get their piece of the pie. And it was just a beautiful thing to watch. Like down the stretch, they came together and they did everything they had to do to get the dub. Even him taking charges on Ja, who's just like trying to jump over people. Like, what's wrong with
that? Shit was weird as hell. How he flipped over. They both almost got hurt.
And he only putting himself in more risk. Like, bro, you just messed up your wrist doing that shit.
I compare it kind of like to Giannis in a way, like because Giannis, when he gets a full head of steam, he's running at you full speed. He's trying to run through you, and Ja runs full speed and he's trying to jump over you. But like you said, his wrist is messed up. So why don't you like chill out a little bit? Like try to Euro step.
And he's not getting the calls either.
No one is. Like it's physical. You have to come with it, but jumping over people isn't gonna always work, especially versus the Lakers, who are everyone's long, athletic. Like, come on, man, try something else, like a Euro, a spin move, a jump hop, something. Just try to jump over people.
Now,
I understand the mentality of it. Like, from a football perspective, the first play you might want to run a nigga over just to set the tone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let them know what you
come with. If you would have dunked on LeBron, that shit would have been crazy.
But if that shit don't work, you got to pivot, my nigga. You can't just keep trying it.
If he dunked on LeBron, I wouldn't be in this call right now.
He gonna catch him one. Don't get it twisted. He gonna catch him one in Memphis.
Maybe.
You better hope so, because that's gonna be the last game that they play this season. So he better get him one.
Man, they asked though. I think they're just a team that's they have a good young core, and they're all pretty healthy throughout the season, and they all play hard every game.
They talk shit too,
and that's why their record is the way it is. But like talent wise and like 7-game series wise, they at the bottom of the West.
And they ran into the wrong team, man. That's all it is. They just ran into the wrong team. If they was,
I'm not trying to hear that. I don't see Memphis beating any of the other
Pelicans
teams
could have
in
beat
the
them last
West.
year too, or was it the Timberwolves or the Pelicans? Yeah, it was the Timberwolves.
It was the
They could have
Timberwolves.
beat them last
Yeah.
year too. That shit went 7-6.
they would spank the Timberwolves. They would spank the Warriors.
Well, yeah, the Timberwolves
Yeah,
this year.
Timberwolves. Don't even do a recap, but how they go
The
spank
Warriors can't win on the road. That's how they can't.
They about to show
No.
you how.
Nah, they would have beat the.
That's
They would
because
have beat the
they haven't
Grizzlies. The
had-
Warriors would have beat the Grizzlies. I
Warriors
think.
Yeah,
Warriors
that's
not
because
winning.
they haven't had what's his name,
Warriors
Andrew
can't
Wiggins.
beat the Kings. Good luck.
They're gonna beat the Kings. You know, De'Aaron Fox, he gonna play, but he's a little banged up.
Yeah, don't. The Kings are one of the best.
They're gonna beat
teams
them in
the
Game
West.
6 at home. That's the last.
Arguably the second.
Game 7, the Kings is gonna win. Warriors can't win on them. Like, this is what people get wrong about the Warriors. Remember back in the day, the Warriors always found a way to win. No matter what the situation was, they could be down 20, 30. Like, we knew you couldn't count them out. They always found a way to win. This year on the road, they do the opposite. They always find a way to lose. Every single time. No matter, you can make up any excuse. Like, they always find a way to lose, whether it's a Steph Curry. Like, they didn't lose the last game and it was at home, but he called a timeout when they were up like 5. They didn't have any timeouts. That was a 4-point swing right there. But it's other cases they're missing free throws. They're just throwing the ball to the other team, turning it over, and I can't see them beating the Kings because they don't know how to win on the road. You have to.
So you still got the Kings in the series then, even with De'Aaron Fox banged up.
De'Aaron Fox he's good. He's gonna play, and they're gonna.
How much of Andrew Wiggins being out for a large majority of the season plays into that?
I mean, it doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't play too much into it just because they weren't a good road team when Andrew Wiggins was on the court. They weren't a good road team when Steph was on the court. They weren't a good road team when Steph was off the court. Like they won 9 games this year on the road out of like 4.
That's like the worst record, no?
Yeah,
It's the very worst. It's the worst record to ever make the playoffs.
So just think about that. Like that, you can't. People say that they can turn it on. Like, no, you can't just turn it on. Like, this is who they are. It's who they turn the ball over. They play really good offense. They don't play nearly as good as defense as they played last year, and they don't know how to win on the road. So I want to see the Warriors versus the Lakers in the second round. So
It's gonna be a good ass series.
I would love for them to win, but I just don't see them overcoming not getting W's on the road. I just don't see it.
They just need one. All it takes is one.
Good luck.
All it takes is one. They protect the
But
home
I don't
court.
think it's gonna be Game 7 though. They need to win this next
Yeah,
game.
gonna
So Game 7's gonna be hard.
The crowd.
And I think with De'Aaron Fox banged up, and they're favorite.
I think it's a shooting hand too. It's like his index finger on a shooting hand.
But is he banged up though? Is he like, okay, a fractured finger on your shooting hand? We didn't see what Kobe went through. We didn't see what guys went through. Like
Paul Pierce, he had the tornado.
Yeah, he got stabbed and shit.
I love to say this because it's true, but adrenaline is one hell of a drug. And when the ball jumps in the air and that.
But when you getting that ass tap, that adrenaline, it's momentum too, though. You know what I'm saying? If niggas busting your ass, it's like
because they're gonna be at home, and the fans.
Yeah,
that's true. That's a fact. That shit was lit. They gonna like. So are they lighting the beam? Game 6?
No.
Oh damn.
Game 5.
five.
Lighting the beam on Game 5.
okay.
Game 6, they're gonna
Game
lose
five.
Game 6. Warriors will win.
Okay.
It's gonna be an interesting series to play out though. Excited to see what happens.
I don't want it to go 7.
Nah, yeah, I mean,
Not if you want to see Steph versus LeBron. No, I do want to see Steph versus LeBron. So I'm cheering for the Warriors. I want them to win.
Bro, that's gonna be good for the NBA. So you already know the rest.
no, yeah, they're gonna be
Rest
making
already
the
was
calls
on
towards
the
that way.
Warriors side.
I would-
So, yeah. You seen how much Draymond got away with at home. So
The refs are scared of Draymond. Like they scared because every time they blow the whistle.
well, it's like he's pushing the envelope. It's like, are you really gonna sit me out another game? Like, no. That's bad for the NBA.
Yeah.
Draymond got them refs. Ooh,
'Cause you either love him or you hate him. So, and that brings us.
tell me Draymond don't be hacking. They don't be calling nothing.
He'd be hacking for sure,
like a
yeah.
motherfucker. And he be talking crazy.
He hacks, let him know he hacks, and then go
So-
about his business.
All right. One thing he will smoke is a layup.
He's layup.
I mean,
He's smoking
goddamn.
everything on the court. On the offensive end, defensively, he locked in defensively for sure. But offensively,
Yeah, him and Looney, they were locking Sabonis up in the first couple games, but they were doing decent. Kevon Looney.
They've been locking him up recently too.
Giving his ass hell.
can't lock up Fox though.
So
No, nobody's been.
that's the problem. His ass been hooping. I mean, and shooting.
I mean,
he's
you can
like,
literally say arguably he's been one of the best players in the playoffs.
best players. Yeah, I'm taking him over a lot of niggas. I mean, even
Steph too.
Looking at his numbers against Steph, they're
yeah,
you gotta give him the nod over Steph. Just if you're looking just at the numbers.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of series left. So let's
see what he do in Game 5 and Game 6. See what doesn't.
Yeah, we got to, especially with the injury. But if he come out and we don't see a drop off and they win, you have to put him up there with them
that
guys. I think this is coming out party for sure.
I mean, you've seen some guys play bad in this playoffs too, like Donovan Mitchell. I think he's been struggling this year. A lot of those guards have been struggling in this playoffs. So Dylan, he's been terrible. What is he? 11 points a game in this playoffs or something?
He won't even talk.
Not even, right?
What happened, D-Bro?
Yeah, he didn't talk to the media. Him or Ja?
What happened? LeBron not even doing nothing out the ordinary either. But he was talking crazy. Like you ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Does
that look bad though?
Yeah.
Him and Ja not talking to the media.
You can't.
Yeah, because you got to take it. If you want to dish, you got to take it. Like it can't be one way and not the other. Like, and that's probably a big reason why they have.
They can't take accountability.
They immature.
You can't do that. You can't poke the bear and talk about he's old and you would have loved to guard him in the old days. It would have been a harder, like you can't say that about one of the GOATs. I'm not gonna call him a GOAT because that's a whole nother debate on here that we don't got to go into. But you can't say that about one of the greats.
Fair enough. We appreciate the respect.
About one of the greats, and then lose the next couple games and not make yourself available to the media. You just can't do that. You got to say something.
Yeah, that's some goofy.
Yeah, he got ejected in the last game, no? And then
he got ejected. Right?
Yeah,
they checked it. LeBron checked his temperature. It was nice. It was a great temperature, and he got the bucket on him. And we ain't heard from him yet.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Yeah, it just proves everybody's theory on him is like, oh, he one of those fake tough guys. You know what I'm saying? And just all bark no bite, because he outside of grabbing niggas dinglings, his ass ain't good for much.
Hey, the craziest part about it is he tried to say that the media and the fans are making him out to be the villain. Like, you doing that yourself. Ja doing that. I'm fine.
Yeah.
What you mean you fine in the West?
That shit didn't age well. I saw that on Twitter today.
Like, you guys are talking. You guys are doing that to yourself. No one else is saying anything. Guys are just, talking my game, but they're not saying anything. For the most part, everybody's being humble, except for these guys, right? This one team with these few, guys. But you got to talk to the media, man. You find in the West, tell us again. Don't say it again. We want to hear it again. I love to hear it.
But now the other team in LA, we talked a little about the Lakers. Now the Clippers, man, we had such high hopes for them coming into the playoffs, but with Paul George and Kawhi being listed out for Game 5 too, what should this Clippers do in the offseason now? Is it time to blow it up? Should Kawhi retire like Stephen A. Smith said?
You got to do something. You can't trust this roster another year. I mean, it's been 4 or 5 years, and they haven't accomplished anything. I think that they made it to the Western Conference Finals one time, and even then, I don't think Kawhi Leonard was healthy in that one. So,
nah, he was out.
You have to do something. You can't trust this team again. That's going to be healthy. Like Kawhi load managed his whole Clippers tenure. He's load managed the whole time, and he plays one playoff game. He gets hurt. He plays through it in Game 2. And now he's out. We won't see him no more this year, probably, unless they win this series, which we all know that he won't. So I think you got to do something.
Don't put it past him.
You got to do something. Like, maybe not get rid of both of them, but you got to check the market for at least one of them to see what you can do to change and shake things up a little bit.
Now, one thing I always wanted to see. There were some rumors about this happening. I forgot how long ago, maybe last year. But Jimmy Butler and Kawhi playing together, send his ass to Miami. Pat Riley would probably do that shit. Two dudes that defend very well. I mean, Jimmy Butler can play without help. We've seen it right now. As long as he's good for the playoffs, they win the chip.
I think that would be good, especially in the East, to kind of balance, some things out, some duos out, especially since KD just came west. Only thing about that is Miami would have to give up a Bam and probably like a Tyler Hero. I don't know how that will work, but the Clippers are not going to just let Kawhi go for nothing. You're going to have to come with it. But you pair Jimmy and Kawhi.
I'd give up Bam.
Something. Oh, yeah. I mean, I give up anybody for Kawhi. As long as they're not like a top 15 player, a superstar, I'd trade anybody for Kawhi. Maybe, actually. I'd have to think about it because who knows if he's going to play or not. So,
no, yeah,
and he's going to do things his way. It's going to be unorthodox. You never know what to expect, and that type of behavior is hard to predict success with. Like, come on now. And he's only getting older. The injuries are continuing to pile up. Like, damn, I wouldn't want his ass, to be honest. That was my favorite play.
Man, if the Bulls was like, if they say send a Zach LaVine for Kawhi, you'll be like, yes.
Hey, we doing that shit.
I'm buying that jersey immediately, nigga.
The claw, man. Him and Pat Williams together? Hey, fuck Jimmy Butler and Kawhi. Him and the paw and the claw?
The paw and the claw, right.
Nah, man.
Kobe White too.
We'll
have a little superstar duo. Nah,
no.
They said he's not even gonna play next year.
He got nerve damage. He can't even sleep. Nah, that's something.
He's probably going through it. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, we good on him too.
But no, I mean, realistically, this team, like when they all get it together, maybe you need to do some stuff in the offseason with the medical team. Maybe you need to get hella treatment, massages, all that shit, whatever you need to do. Something.
Nah, it's over.
These two dudes.
Yo, you can't get no knees, nigga. Trust me.
They can win a chip if they just were healthy. That's the tough problem about this. And with Russ playing the level he's playing, bring his ass back. Give him a nice little contract, a nice little deal.
Can Russ play at this level with Kawhi and Paul George in the lineup? That's the question. I'm gonna say no.
He was though.
With Kawhi.
Last game, how many shots did Russ shoot? 34 or something? 32 shots?
Because he had to. He's the only outside of Northern Powell.
Russ is only getting 15, 16 shots. How is that?
As long as it's the right shots.
Because right now, it's just, what I'm saying? Every shot is the right shot right now. Ain't nobody else out there. Like, no matter what.
Yeah, but that's leans into his strength. He needs a lot of. He's a volume guy. Like once he gets going, though, it's like, oh, this the rest.
Some of his shots, though, like some of those games with Kawhi, though, I was looking at the TV, like, what the fuck is he doing? The air ball after air ball.
Well, they leave his ass wide open. He be hitting that glass a little too hard sometimes on them banks. He be living for them deep ass twos off the glass. Those shits be hitting hard as hell.
Top of the glass. Unfortunately, Russ is a great player though.
He lining them shits
I hang my hat to Russ. He won a lot. Yeah. Coming, being an MVP, right? Being an MVP, then taking a 6-man role when you know that you're better than like a Dennis Schroeder. I know that's hard, tough pill to swallow, but at the end of the day, it was what was best for that team. This team, he been balling on, so kudos to him, man.
Yeah, he's been doing his thing. But another dude that's been balling, Anthony Edwards. He's been the only reason I watched this series. It's like really the only thing you could talk about in this series, besides Denver being dominant. But Anthony Edwards, though, the potential with him. Do you think he could ever be in that top 15, top 10 conversation with players in the NBA?
Yeah, of course, but he's just gonna have to wait until some of these guys retire. He's gonna have to wait 5-6 years to get to the top 10. Because you still gonna have Steph, your LeBrons, your Joels, all those guys, Jokic's.
Kawhi?
I don't know about Kawhi.
LeBron
on his way out for sure. So I mean, his talent is unlimited.
Obviously, Kawhi, Paul George, and them guys.
He's a 3-level guy. 3-pointer, mid-range, dunk on your head. He'll guard your best player, basically 1 through 4, sit down, pick up full court. He has everything. He's even maturing a little bit, like up here, if you will. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for the kid. But the team that's around him and that Minnesota market, we'll see what that looks like in the future. Because it's not.
They're poorly ran too. Like their organization, they don't know what the fuck they're doing with the Rudy Gobert trade.
Man,
with some of the moves they've been doing.
That was a shit show. That was a terrible trade. I do like the Mike Conley addition,
that was good.
though. I will say that. But A-Rod is taking over ownership, so hopefully the future is bright. But to your point, Minnesota market, motherfuckers ain't going up there unless they draft.
Ain't no free agent coming in. I'm trying to figure the Rudy Gobert thing out, and maybe you guys can help me understand it because I still don't understand it. We're in a different NBA today where, like, for the most part, everybody on the court needs to be able to shoot. And I'm not taking nothing away from Rudy Gobert because he is a really good 5-man, but you're sitting him next to another really good 5-man. Like Karl Anthony Towns is a center today. Like he's outside.
No, he's clearly a
today,
center.
Karl Anthony Towns, he should be your biggest player on the court, unless you're bringing Gobert off the bench. So I just don't know how they thought it was going to work. It's not really working, but hey, good luck.
No, yeah, it just don't make sense. And especially, you need like a shooting big man now in NBA. And with him, he just be bricking layups and shit. Sometimes defensively, he's not there either.
Terribly. Even a lob-wise, his ass be smoking layups.
Ain't blocking shots no more like you used to. So why are you?
Nah.
Right. You ain't blocking shots. You ain't making layups. You ain't catching the ball. You ain't guarding nobody. You doing spin circles when guards got it. Like, you turning in circles. No. Are you on the court? No.
Hey, you be punching niggas in the chest. God damn, get him off the. Yeah. Right. Little ass chest.
And the thing
punch.
too with him is like,
and he was and he gave a Mike COVID and shit. That nigga, was that before?
He kicked it off. That was way.
No, that was
2020.
That started the bubble.
Come on, man. Niggas ain't doing their homework before they making these trades. God damn it. If they was like, fuck it, we selling what we ain't get this ain't gonna be our job in a couple years. No way. Let's fuck this up. That's probably what they was
man, 5 picks for Rudy Gobert, and you gave a haul of players up like a Jared Vanderbilt who could actually be helping your team today. You could just have
helping the Lakers.
Right. You just helped motherfuckers out of their foolish
Malik Beasley too. He was in that
post the prior to the trade deadline. So
didn't make sense. And the thing too about him,
there's always going to be ass organizations.
Yeah. The thing too about him too is like people don't fuck with him in the locker room. He's not teammates don't like him.
Clearly,
he like a big
Donovan Mitchell and him got it.
Going on?
He's just a big baby. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just kind of soft. Like you that big, you that tall. You got all these accolades, but you soft kind of. Like I don't know him personally, so I'm not speaking on his character. I'm just speaking on his play and what I see from the television. Like you're big and you're soft. Like that. No one likes that. Like you got guys like Mitchell Robinson, guys like Clint Capella, guys who are big and they're not soft. But like Rudy Gobert is supposed to be an all-star.
Steven Adams too.
Right. Guys like if you're gonna be that big, you can't be soft. So maybe that's.
But both of they center soft too, which is crazy.
No, hey, let's not forget Karl Anthony Towns got his ass choked out by Ben Simmons. Let's not forget that. He tapped out. You didn't see that video?
You don't remember that?
Oh, that is right. I do remember that. That is funny as hell. I thought you meant on some actual fighting shit. But yeah, I remember that. He was screaming for sure. Like a whole female. No, damn Micah.
Nah, you good.
But that shit is crazy. So yeah, they built all fucked up like a girl with a big back. Just, come on now, how your back bigger than your ass? Shit is fucked up.
But what do we think about the new hire for the Houston Rockets, Ime Udoka, him going over there, getting another shot? What do we think about that? You think he could turn it around?
As long as your wife don't work that, nigga, you straight. Yeah, they gotta turn that, because that's a good market. Yeah. That's a great market, matter of fact.
James Harden loved it
taxes
over there.
And all types of shit. Yeah, James.
You know why James loved it?
So I think he'll turn it around for
He
sure.
don't have a choice. He has to turn it around. The good thing about the hire is he's inheriting a similar team to Boston. Like they got a bunch of pieces, like a bunch of tall, long wings, guys that can shoot, beyond the arc. They got big guys in the paint like Sangoon who can score and get his teammates involved. Kind of like Al Horford, a little bit better though, if you will.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna take a while to get them to be made like a playoff team. They might be able to be a playing team in a year or two, especially depending on what pick they get in the draft. But they should be relevant in a couple of years as the young talent they have grows. He'll grow with them. So I think it's a good hire. It's excellent for the situation. So I think it's good.
And the thing about that too is, he was in Boston with Jaylen Brown. There's rumors about him going somewhere in free agency. So maybe he wants his own team, goes to Houston. That'd be nice with the team they got.
It's a good take.
Yeah, I agree because they're going to try. People are going to try to offer super max or whatever the case is for Jaylen Brown. So I wouldn't be surprised if he look at the money. Now the question for me is, doesn't the team you currently play for has the opportunity to offer you the most?
They can offer you a super max. The other teams can only offer you a max. So it
wouldn't. I don't think the money is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be getting paid so much money. Like I don't know how he is.
Yeah, I would.
I don't know what his values are like. If he's like, I'm not going to leave $30-40 million on the table. But when you're making $200 million in a contract, you can potentially control your future and go to where you want to. Why not? And I know what guys have done in the past is they say, hey, I'm not coming back, but I want that super max. So you can either lose me for nothing or you can sign me and trade me. Do like a sign and trade. But keep in mind, the reports is that James Harden thinking about going to Houston as well. If they get him, his old ass, they might be able to do something. Somehow.
That ain't shit.
That's so weird though, because how he left Houston.
He's gonna get old.
Like
quick.
coming back to him, he had the fat suit on and shit. like that.
Harden is ready to. He's if you're watching, like he's, day by day, year by year, he's changing his game to be more of a traditional point guard. He's okay with only averaging 18 and 10 assists, and that's all he would need to do with Houston is 10 assists. So
sometimes not.
I think he's cool with his new role and new look upon the league. Like going out there and dropping 36 every night, shooting 600 step backs a game isn't ideal anyway. So I think the new James Harden is definitely a good look. I like it.
No, and people are shitting on it like, hey, James Harden needs to step up, but with Maxey, Tobias Harris giving you 20, he don't need to give you 20 no more as long as he can affect the game in that aspect. And so, I mean, that's why I like Philly, they got a lot of pieces this year.
Yeah, I love Philly.
A lot of more depth,
We're going to do it.
But we're going to switch into the NFL. You want to talk some NFL with us, Ryan?
You kind of broke up. I didn't hear what you said.
I said we're going to switch over to the NFL. You want to talk some NFL with us?
Shit, depending on what y'all talking about.
And the draft, Aaron Rodgers.
Come on, let me blur my background.
All right, cool.
How you blur your background? They're going to be like, this nigga don't know what he's talking about some football.
Yeah, I don't know if you can blur it.
Let me drop off. I don't know nothing about no damn football. Let me get up out of here.
All right, but hey, hold on. I'll let you. I'll send you off. All right. But that's all we got for the NBA talk. Thank you, NBA analyst Ryan Wynn for us, for your time, and you got the credibility in the back.
You hop on.
Yeah, we see the game a little differently with your, opinion and your takes.
Appreciate it, fellas. It's always love over here. So thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. The biggest news that happened yesterday: Aaron Rodgers is now officially a Jet. What's your thought on the? What's your thoughts on this move? Now that Aaron Rodgers is officially a Jet and the outlook of the Jets now.
I think that shoots them to the very top of the AFC East, and it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, you look at what New England, where they are, they're the odd man out now.
They're not making the playoffs. They're not going to be competitive in that division anymore.
No. And what does the next step look like for the Bills? Because last year was a huge disappointment. They were the favorites the entire year,
Mm-hmm.
until towards the end, and then they just really got their shit kicked in against the Bengals.
Yeah, that was bad.
And we've seen the Bengals barely eke away against the Ravens, and then obviously lose to Kansas City. So it's I think the way the Jets played against the Bills last year surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
And then that shoots him up. I mean, him and Josh Allen as the best two quarterbacks in that division. And I don't trust Tua as far as I could throw him.
And with his ability to fall down, you can throw him pretty far. You can ragdoll him.
Man. So I don't trust that at all. Regardless of how many weapons they have around him, if he's not healthy down the stretch, none of that matters. So they have a real legitimate shot to win the division.
Who would you pick in that division, though?
Playoffs.
Like, who would your favorite be? Still Buffalo?
I think the Jets are my favorite, just with how Buffalo played last year, and I haven't seen them make any real key acquisitions unless you have. What do you how do you think of their offseason?
I haven't seen them make too many.
Do you feel like they've gotten better?
I feel like they're the same. Von Miller's going to be coming back healthier next year, so maybe that will help their defense. Right. They picked up Damian Harris, running back for the Patriots too, which is,
that's a good pickup.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see you in the draft too, who they pick up. But other than that, I like the Jets too. But that gauntlet of the AFC is going to be a tough fight for the division. We've seen divisions look like this. Like, this division looks amazing. You looked at the AFC West last year, and that shit amounted to nothing.
Exactly.
But the Chiefs winning.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. I think Rodgers adds something to this Jets team that they, his performance, him being like an actual real quarterback, they would have won some games with Rodgers that they didn't with Zach Wilson.
No question. And even the Rodgers of last year, they get into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think so. The question is, how much does A-Rod have left in the tank? Because last year was his worst year by far. And I got to see what. Obviously, he was without Devontae Adams. The receiving core in New York is a lot better. Obviously, if Breece Hall comes back healthy, I'd like to see them add some more pieces. They whiffed on Odell, which was
they didn't give him the bag.
Blow, I think.
Yeah.
Right. I think that would have took them to now we're Super Bowl contenders. We're not just winning the AFC East or in competition with the Bills to do that.
It's us and the Chiefs.
So I think they're still a weapon away because A-Rod isn't what he once was. So and I think that checks out. I think he'll have a better year than he did last year, but I don't think he's ever going to be in that top that top 5 conversation.
Oh yeah. So where would you have him ranked in the AFC then? At 6, 7?
So when I say top 5, I meant all of the NFL.
Oh, yeah,
but shit, all the best quarterbacks are in the AFC.
Yeah, so. Most of those 5 are in the AFC.
So obviously Joe Burrow, I'm taking over him. Mahomes. Justin Herbert, of course.
Really? No, yeah, he did look bad last year. Trevor Lawrence too. Would you take Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence, possibly.
I think Deshaun Watson, maybe.
Projection wise, if we're looking at projections, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm not gonna say Deshaun just yet. But he did turn it up late
Lamar?
in the season.
I'd take Lamar. I'd take Lamar over him.
I take Lamar at this point for sure.
But the one all-time quote that we have seen, Zach Wilson, he's not worried about another quarterback coming in. You know what he said? I'm gonna give him hell in practice every day.
I'm gonna make his life hell in practice.
Like,
what does that even mean, bro? Go to scout team. You gonna make his life hell and individual? Like what do quarterbacks even do in individual? They just throw at fucking.
Oh yeah,
They just
I mean,
they just throw that bitch. Like what you mean making his life hell?
if anything, is the defense really going to be able to benefit from having him at scout team quarterback?
They gonna at least be able to work on their hands.
That's what I'm saying.
You fired me.
So, this Jets situation is going to be interesting with Rodgers on there now. But another thing I wanted to talk to you about is the CJ Stroud shit. The S2 cognition, test. That's a really big deal in the draft, obviously, because his ass is now about to fall out of the top 7 picks because of this. Because he had like 18% out of it was a really bad test, apparently. But
was that accurate? Is that true?
That's what I saw on Twitter. And then another dude, shout out to him. He popped up on my YouTube comments. He said he was like, CJ Stroud was tired the time they made him take it at 11 p.m. or something. So he didn't want to take it, but he took it, scored bad, and then they let him take it again. They haven't put out those results yet. So I don't know what this narrative being pushed out.
Sound like a bunch of hoopla.
That's what I'm saying. The same shit that was happening to Justin Fields. All this talk about, it was him and who's the other quarterback? Trevor Lawrence. Those two guys were number 1 and number 2 after the season. But once the draft and all that stuff started kicking in, the offseason, like,
it happens every year. Even Deshaun Watson, even Mahomes, even, some of these, it seems like it's always they have an extended period of time to talk about the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
We know what these guys are at this point, and they're just it just becomes over analysis.
And that's how you miss.
Nobody cares.
That's how these guys are missing in the draft.
Right. That's how they're missing, though. They're over analyzing and not just letting take speak for itself. Like CJ Stroud literally beat Georgia. They were field goal.
That field goal goes in. That's a dub in his column. The best team in college football, the team that killed TCU in the championship. It was like 60-something to like 7 or something. They blew their ass out.
Exactly. So I'm not trying to hear that shit.
Me either.
And he showed a different element of his game, much like Justin Fields.
That running ability, yeah.
So I'm not tripping.
But and then I'm hearing Will Levis is gonna be the number 1 pick now. Like some of this shit has to be fake though. Like these teams are pushing out this information, like, oh, we like this guy, we don't like this guy, because I got the Texans now saying they would take Will Anderson or take a defensive player with the 2nd pick. Like, what do you? Let's throw a projection out there now. What do we think? Who do we think the number 1 pick is going to be, and who do we think the number 2 pick is going to be?
I think CJ Stroud goes 2nd, and then what's his name goes first? Bryce Young, yes.
He's got that next, like, people are comparing it to that Curry factor.
You'd be out of your mind to compare Will Levis and what's the name again?
Which one?
The number 1.
Oh, Bryce Young? Yeah.
Bryce Young, yes.
No, yeah, like it's stupid as hell that Will Levis would go that high. It just doesn't make sense. Bryce Young, I like him. I think they're interchangeable. I think Bryce Young goes 2, and CJ Stroud goes 1, because maybe Carolina is putting out this fake information. Maybe they actually do like Stroud, because you looked at his what is it the draft thing. Shit. My dyslexia is acting up. They Josh McCown was talking about they were just in love with CJ Stroud, and it just doesn't make sense how every other team is just gonna fall at the top 7. So that shit might be fake. But I like your picks.
Sounds about right.
I said mine. So with Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers being in the Jets quarterbacks now, what do you think about Jordan Love? Like, what do you project him to do next season?
I project him to be a game manager, to manage the game.
Okay.
And then they'll be in some dog fights against some 500 teams, and then get blown out by the best, including the Bears.
Yeah. So, okay.
And that's just me being honest at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna beat you.
No, he's not. They still got a pretty good team, though. But I don't think they're gonna. I think it's just going to be like year one, especially.
You're only as good as your quarterback.
Yeah, year one, especially. They'll see some bumps and stuff, but I think he'll have a pretty good future.
That's what I'm saying. That when they played Kansas City, he was serviceable, but they still scored 0 points.
Yeah,
so
didn't amount to shit.
Right, I'm not trying to hear none of that.
But with Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, and Justin Fields now, who is the best quarterback in the NFC now? Please be honest. Let's get your honest opinion.
Man, obviously I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts first. Just because
Jalen Hurts.
He yeah. Are you acting surprised?
No, you meant Justin Fields, right?
No, I didn't.
In the NFC North.
Oh, NFC. Oh, the whole Justin.
Yeah, my
okay.
fault.
Yeah, I think Justin Fields is by far the best.
Okay.
Projection wise, we added the talent we needed. Just looking at our roster, talent wise, running back, we gonna be straight.
DJ Moore. I think we
Justin
got the
Fields
best receiver.
Most electric.
Nah, I was about to say some outlandish shit. We don't got the best receiver in the NFC North. Obviously Justin Jefferson. Second best though.
Blasphemy.
Second best. I totally forgot that shit.
We have a great receiving core now. Now we got a whip, especially with Minnesota losing Thielen.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they have obviously the best receiver in the league.
Jefferson, yeah.
But, we got a nice, well-rounded team. I would like, especially at tight end, too.
Got two monsters now.
So I love the additions we've made at receiver and tight end and even running back. So, Justin Fields is going to be dynamic in the run game.
Yeah, this is going to be his year.
The crazy thing people are struggling with was like, we have the blueprint of what success looks like for Justin Fields. Like literally, Jalen Hurts do what he did, and he's more talented. He's a freakier athlete, and he's built with the same stuff. Just listen to both of their interviews, and they're built with the same stuff, and how they carry themselves, very similar. So you add that as well as the 4-4.
Mm-hmm.
You see what we did at receiver. You see what we did at tight end and running back. Obviously, we got most of the O-line in the draft. But shit's going to be scary. We've taken over. I will like to see him be more cautious, and I think that'll come with time. He seems like a smart guy, so I have absolute faith. That's the easy part of football. So I think he's going to take a huge step, and we're going to see the best. So get your popcorn ready, baby.
Let's hope. Hey, but so with the 9th pick in the draft, let's close it out with this. Who do you think the Bears should pick up, and what do you do if you're Ryan Poles with the 9th pick?
So I think you wait till the very end and see what happens before you.
Okay.
Because if Jalen Carter's there, you take him immediately, no questions asked. If he's not, and a Tyrese Maxwell isn't there either. Mm-hmm. Is that how you pronounce his name?
No, I think you're talking about Tyree Wilson, right?
Tyree Wilson.
I think you were thinking about the dude from the Sixers, Maxey.
No. Yeah. So
you're good.
If those two aren't there, and then if you don't love taking Njigba early.
I mean, dude, if we take Njigba, our shit's gonna be nice, bro. Our weapons,
right.
We have the best core in the NFL.
So, and if somebody takes a tackle early, then it's like I don't think anybody will take a tackle in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you don't have Jalen Carter there and Njigba, I mean, they're projecting him to be, maybe middle of the pack first round anyway. So Why not trade back, get an early second because we don't have one, right? Or we do. We have Carolina's, but get another one. And then go get best available at that late first round pick.
Okay.
Whether that's, and I think tackles should be no brainer unless the jig was still there, like say 19.
Oh yeah, then you got to go best player available. But I really trust Poles to do something with this. I think we do trade down. I see us trading down from that 9th pick because you look at I do see us trading down from that 9th pick because Darnell Wright is a guy you can pick up with the value of getting a tackle with that high of a pick. I don't think Ryan Poles is going to do that. So we're going to trade down, try to get some more assets, maybe another second round pick, and then see what goes. Then do a pick swap and get lucky, maybe get a tackle, and then get be able to get somebody else with more value at a skill possession, a defensive lineman, something like that. So
right, like or Joey Porter or somebody might reach for him.
yeah,
But
I like the corner from Kansas State too, Julius Brents or something. Where he's got good size, he's a talented player. I would love to pick him up. If we get another second round pick, because he's going to be gone by ours, I think.
man. So that's what I'm saying. There's some value in that late first round, especially with us bolstering our talent through free agency. I think we not free agency out of the park, which allows us to let's stockpile picks as opposed to going up to just getting one star because we got stars now.
Yeah.
We just need glue guys at this point, and then obviously some diamonds in the rough. But we need to hit on a lot of these draft picks. So the more you can get, the better your chances are. And studies show, I mean, look at it. You can find stars anywhere in the draft, especially there's a plethora of receivers. Obviously, tackles are never going to go top five.
Edge positions. There's so much depth in this draft. We can get guys
right.
in those later
Edge,
rounds.
there's some freaky guys. Even that guy I was watching that DN from Iowa State, just an absolute freak.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Will McDonald. Yeah, I've seen him too. He's nice.
Yeah, or even the DN from Iowa, Lucas Van Ness. There's some guys, or even there's tons of DNs in the top 50 players in this draft.
That's what I'm saying.
And then you can get some great receivers towards the end, like a Josh Downs. I mean, I love the way he runs routes.
He's nice. Wouldn't be mad at that.
So the sky's the limit. Art Jair Brown at safety from Penn State. I love that Penn State secondary.
They were really good. They produced some guys.
Or even a Jaden Reed. There's some guys.
Dude, he went to Naperville Central, bro. He's
exactly
from our stomping grounds. Yeah, he's a guy that can make some big plays. He'd be there, for us to pick him up. But it's gonna be a great draft. I'm excited to see it. You're gonna have the draft party. Unfortunately, I'll be at Target, doing my shit, working with the box cutter. Boop, boop. Excited to see what happens. And that's all we got for the show today. Episodes coming out every Wednesday. Check out what the content, the reels, all the stuff, the YouTube shorts. We're posting out content every day, damn near. So to stay up with us, you'll never miss any news, none of that. But once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as always, peace.